As we begin, return to the night.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today. Divine Dabblings with,
Indistinct Warbler.
and me, Banshee. And happy summer solstice. It's
Yes,
a happy, sad day for me because it's the longest day of the year, which means the days become shorter from here. And for those of you on the other side of the world, it would be winter solstice, right?
exactly. The return of the
So you lucky devils, your days are going to be getting longer. Woohoo! But anyway, it's summer.
welcome, everybody.
We'll enjoy the summer while it lasts. All right. Well, and I'm going to be using the Season of the Witch again, Summer Solstice, Litha edition. I also have the Midnight Sun here one. I was going to use that today, but I might use it a final time on Sunday. It's for the northernmost countries in Europe.
And of course, today we are also here in the States honoring Juneteenth.
Yes, happy Juneteenth
Happy Juneteenth.
for all who celebrate. Thank you for reminding me. I was going to say that too, but then we started singing.
Yes, badly. So also, of course, that means that we are putting out the monthly modality message tomorrow, premiering or coming out at 2 p.m. It's recorded video. And that's for the modality signs of the zodiac. It's good for a whole month from the beginning of the Cancer season all the way through it to the beginning of the Leo season.
I just went down. Why?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm going to reload the
Could be him
page.
jumping up. I don't know. Let's see.
There, I'm
And
here.
I have no dropped flames or nothing.
Just my thing just rebooted it. I don't know why.
Hmm.
Computers. Well, at any rate, what was I going to say? Now I lost my thought. Probably best. Oh, and better late than never. The unhappy hour is past due. fourth, the fourth quarter moon started yesterday, or really, the last phase before new moon started yesterday. So
Hey, you can't lose one day of unhappiness.
it will be coming out soon. I've been going,
Oh,
partly it's
tomorrow.
my fault because I've been going to this Llewellyn-a-con and it has 4 sessions every day. And it's been kind of hard to work things into our schedule around that. All right. And Llewellyn-a-con is over tomorrow.
So speaking of the sun, we have Sunny, of course.
The summer solstice sun man.
That's right. How you doing, Mr. Sunman?
All right.
All right. Boom shakalaka laka, boom shakalaka. Do do do.
You got it. What you got?
Paper boats.
Oh, did we have
Number
that one?
27. I don't remember.
We may have had that one for a card for the collective.
Stay afloat and don't tilt too much. A lesson awaits you. Number 27. Paper
Yes, that's my birthday number 9.
Ah, okay.
27. Paper boats. The keywords are sending, blessings, receiving, good fortune, giving, and receiving. Oh, I see receiving good fortune was together. I'm sorry. There. Well, that's good news. I like it. And then it says, well, you read that. I won't read that again. So, a wonderful midsummer practice is to craft paper boats, fill them with flowers and blessings, and then send them off on rivers, lakes, and streams. Whoever finds them will be blessed with good luck and fortune. It's a beautiful practice that teaches the art of giving and receiving. Abundance is a two-way street, after all. To give there must be a recipient, and to receive you must be willing to accept. One cannot exist without the other. There's no shame in sharing or accepting, and you will find yourself experiencing both sides of the coin many times over. Share your time, resources, and skills when you are in a position to do so, as you never know how a gift that is given without expectation can change someone's day, even going on to impact them for a lifetime. Each time you give, you deposit a karmic coin that will make its way back to you when you need it most. If you find yourself on the receiving end, do so without feeling guilty for needing a helping hand. Allowing others to repay their fortune in kind to you is not a sign of failure or weakness, but is one soul doing their part to uplift another, and in turn, lift up the greater consciousness. It all flows back into the unlimited stream of love, the universe's catch of kindness. Celebrate your turn in fortunes, being sure to pay it forward when you're back on your feet. And I like this card for a lot of reasons. I think, we certainly give a lot here. We don't have expectations. When we get donations, it's wonderful. When we get private readings, it's fantastic. When we're invited to events, it's really great. But we really have no super expectations here. The thing that this reminded me most of, Mr. O, in a personal way, and I think it's relevant here, is when we used to do Crow's Cause, and we were just talking about
Oh,
that.
okay.
We did a
Sure.
newsletter that we sent out for free, right,
Hmm.
to anybody who wanted it. And it was about pagan, Wiccan issues and spells and incantations and different things. And
Poetry. We had poetry and
I would
artwork.
include poetry. And what really made my day. We didn't have a lot of subscribers ever, really,
Yeah,
overall.
it varied, but
It
not
was small,
really.
but we did get attention from different quarters, which was nice. But one person told me one day, she wrote something to our newsletter and said, "You inspired me with your writing." Because I told her what beautiful poetry she had been sending us. And she said, "You know what? It's you. You inspired me with your writing out here to do this. And I'm going to continue doing it because of you." And I was just like, wow. One soul at a time. That's all it takes. You might be remembered for a day, you might be remembered for a lot longer. You might change someone's life.
You never know.
You never know.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you.
So Cherry Blossom is up first.
Okay,
And
see, we have Mysterious Queen game.
yes, right.
Hi, Mysterious Queen. I'll get you on the list and I will post the list.
And Cherry asks, who do you see coming towards me in love this year for a long-term stable relationship?
Okay.
What do you think, a regular one or that one you do?
Oh, I see. Well, gosh, I haven't done that in so long. Let's try that one. Some of the cards may have a little bit different meaning.
Okay.
But we definitely want to look for a court card first. Okay? All right. Okay, there. Come on now, champ.
Thank you, Mysterious. Not too bad. So far, no really great bad days. Mostly okay days.
Are you in a subscribers only mode?
I don't know.
Because I can't, what happened here? I
Uh,
can't respond in the chat at all.
well, I don't think it's anything I did. So I'm sorry.
There's something wrong here.
Do you want me to hold up for a minute?
Well, I can't do anything, so I'm pretty upset. I can't post the list. Why don't you post the list for me since we don't know what's going on? You may have to take care of that from here. Um, I don't know. I just went into like I
Hi,
usually
Karen.
do. And suddenly it's not letting me do that. Let me try again. Oh, it's telling me to sign in.
I'll get the list going and continue the operations.
This is unbelievable.
Well,
But there it is. I just had to click on sign in. I'm auto signed in.
and
What
there's our
the
list.
heck? All right. It's insane.
Ask us.
Mercury is almost like going retrograde, but it's not. Not yet. There we
Okay,
are.
so I want to refocus on Sherry's question. Who do you see coming towards me in love this year for a long-term, stable relationship? Thank you for posting that again.
And thank you for changing the number when you added Kara.
I thought I did. I changed it from 5 to 6.
Oh, darn you.
Wow.
I need another brownie.
Right now, maybe.
No, probably by
Okay,
the
so
end
I
of the
just flipped
show.
over cards till I find a court
Huh.
card, right?
Yes, that is correct.
All right, so the first card is Judgment.
Wait a minute. You're supposed to find that's judgment?
I'm flipping over till I find a
Oh,
court card. I
okay.
just said that.
You don't have to name every card.
Huh?
Just flip
Okay,
down and
I
find a card
understand.
you're going to.
I understand. You do need that brownie, don't you? It's the reversed Knight of Pentacles. Should I halt the show so Banshee can go get her brownie?
No, don't let me.
All right, so it's the reversed Knight of Pentacles.
Yes, so I think this person is going to be very slow moving, to commit maybe even, they're kind of cautious. They like to take things in stages and steps, but it might be worth the journey. Although I worry a little bit here that they may have a little bit of a lackadaisical or lazy streak kind of attitude, this one.
Oh, I had this word in my head and now it's gone. Overly methodical. They're
Thinks too
so
much.
they're so slow in some ways because they're mentally processing things. They may have a Taurian kind of personality,
Definitely an
so
earth sign.
so they're overly cautious kind of thing there. None of this necessarily rules them out if maybe, that's not necessarily a big issue for you, but it just may take a while for this relationship to hit its stride, I guess.
Hit its stride, and also to get him to kind of open up a little bit. I think here too, he's just a little bit reserved, like slow to respond. You may be confused at first about how they're really feeling about you.
However, you did ask who's coming towards you.
Yeah.
This personality is coming towards you. They just may not present as that exact person. Like you may wonder, like, why are they hanging around and they're working up their nerve a little bit, or they're just really
Feeling you out.
slow to find their words too.
Well, and the thing is, I think they're about your age or younger, maybe a little bit by a little bit.
Probably.
And they could, I don't know age wise. I'm not going to say, but I feel here you're going to be close in age. That's pretty
Yeah, I
much
think so too.
it.
Um,
And whether they're totally settled in a career to me is a little bit questionable too. It might be a little, they may have jobs, they may be employed, but it might be a while before they really settle into their calling.
Well, they may be in the career game too a little bit, which may make them, have some of those cautionary ideas. They don't want to focus in too many areas if they are focusing on career. But we're just, I guess, trying to say that they're not like already, raising money in their 401k kind of thing.
So let's do look for a major arcana now. The first one you get, and that's it. Nope. You're gonna do it up there.
And it is the reversed hanged man.
Well, the one thing I can say about them is that they definitely don't they like to I almost feel like I'm getting a sense here that they like to socialize. They don't withdraw from socialization. Sometimes well, sometimes I feel the Pentacle cards can be a little bit aloof, but I'm not seeing that when I see the Hanged Man reversed. They like to mingle, they like to socialize, they like to network. They may, in fact, like to not sit back and question a lot of things. I think you were talking about them thinking too much here. I think they do, but I think they get their information from other people and experiences rather than, say, doing the research like a normal Pinnacle guy would. I think here they're very into life experience and hearing people's own experiences and learning from that.
So, what is this position?
I think it's something that's really a major kind of point of their character or personality.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I should have said that.
No, you might have said it. I
I
probably was
didn't.
just kind of blanking out
I
here.
did not. I'm sorry.
Um, so to me, it also seems too like maybe they're they're maybe a realist in their own mind, in their own terms, and that they're not necessarily drawn towards the ideas of esoteric knowledge, the a practical sort. And so, it could even be that the idea that, you were asking somebody about the cards, might be curious to them. I'm not saying that it would draw reservations, but they would not be that kind of person, I guess. They're sort of really grounded in what they term reality is. They don't
I like
necessarily
that.
feel the intuitive things or mystic forces in
I
life.
agree. I think they're very practical minded.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we're picking up so far. Now, let's just take a look at something else about them. I want a regular card for this. It's like,
The next one,
I'm not sure I want to assign it a position per se, but let's just look at it.
Five of Cups reverse.
Reversed. Okay. Okay. I think
Five of Cups reverse.
this says a lot about, I feel this card is saying a bit about how you're going to meet this person or who they are going to be to you. It seems as though they are coming out of, a bad relationship, whether it was a divorce or a difficult separation. But they're recovered. They're fully recovered. This is not a situation to me where you have to worry about somebody who is just rebounding, looking for
Yeah.
a place to land, to get their bearings. No, this is somebody who is fully recovered from some hurt in their past. And maybe that's why they're so cautious now.
I agree with that. The cautious part. I don't know so much that it's a hurt so much as maybe a sense of loss. That
Mhm.
even if it was a divorce,
Okay.
they may feel the loss of that companion more than anger about how it went, So this likewise could be other kinds of loss, maybe it's the loss of a parent or a child or the loss of a spouse or a companion. But they took the time, I think, to process and that maybe they have more of those kind of earthly views about life and death, and so it took them a while to process it. But I agree with Banshee. I think that they have kind of returned to that sense, and that's why maybe they are coming towards you. Lenormand.
Well, Cherry,
Oh,
but
the ring, the crossroads.
well, that's an interesting combo. What do you think of that, Mr.
Well,
Oh,
I
I've got a
almost
couple of
wonder if maybe
ideas.
there's a sense of timing here that could be an effect here somehow that maybe uh, this is either a person who can't decide if they want to move faster or not. They're at the crossroads. They might feel like they need to have an involvement or a situation in their life. Or maybe it's you, like maybe it's moving too fast for you and you don't like being in the crossroads moment of maybe having to feel a commitment. Maybe you want more time. It could be a couple different things like that, maybe.
This is so awesome. And I've been doing this a bit lately, I think in particular with the Lenormand, but I have done it with some of the tarot cards. And I don't always tell you the first thing that pops into my head because sometimes it just doesn't totally resonate with me once the cards are pulled. But I have to say here, the first thing that popped into my head when I saw the crossroads in the ring is that you're destined to meet. You're crossing roads. You are
Oh,
crossing roads and meeting and committing into marriage. So I don't know if this is going to be a chance meeting, if you're going to meet on a job, or you're going to meet something happens that brings you together on the same road or at the same spot, and you're going to choose to move forward, and commit.
I kind of misread that, I guess, then.
Well, I went with the first thing that came into my head. And sometimes
No, I think you're right, though.
it's a little bit different from, like, I could also say just blanketly with that, somebody is going to make the choice to make a commitment, or you both are. That's the other part about that. You both are going to make the choice to make a commitment, or, you're going to be talking about it clearly because it's a decision time and a commitment. So I like it. It's a cool reading,
Well,
Sherry.
good luck.
Good luck with that.
Absolutely keep us in touch.
And Libra is up. Hi, Libra.
Well, men are pigs and are usually
Oh,
deceptive.
dear.
Sherry, like to keep options open sometimes. Hey, Sonny.
Sunny Boy is back. Oh, thank you. I guess I give you these. And Libra's question was?
I think they had a question.
Well, I'm sure they
Let's
did. I'm just
see.
surprised you didn't look. What's coming towards me? Okay.
All right.
We'll do my reading.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Sonny boy. So yeah, as we mentioned earlier, the monthly modality message will be on tomorrow at 2 p.m. And it's about your modality sign. Find out, if you're fixed, mutable, or cardinal, and what that means for the month ahead. And you're welcome, Sherry. I hope that made sense. I guess it does in a way. So
It really did click together. I think even this person's character and
hello.
personality and where he's coming from. So it's going to be pretty interesting. People could be slow, people could be have some little character faults, but that doesn't make them a bad person. I really didn't see any red flags here. Okay, what's coming towards Libra?
I'm so scorpionic, Ari, but I feel like you should have the stock picture of you with a guy friend, not necessarily a serious friend, and you have your arms around each other, saying hi. And every time he texts you that way, you'll just say, "Oh, that's okay. I'm just chilling with my friend," and send him the picture. That's me though, because I'm Scorpio.
Is this the guy, the one?
No, this is a different
A
guy,
different guy. Okay. Wow.
but somebody that was around a little while before, I guess.
Jeez, I just don't know. Okay, well, Libra, you've got the Knight of Wands racing in. So what's coming towards you is something. You're moving towards something.
Yeah.
What's coming towards you is you moving towards something. And it looks like something that's you're really going to be enthusiastic about pursuing, going after or doing. It could be an activity. It could be, some job or situation. Sometimes this talks about work if you are looking for work, or it could be about a project or goal or some activity. Maybe it's travel. The wands sometimes to me, have a travel connotation, do they not? And the knights are on the
It's
move.
definitely movement, but that's most of the nights anyways. I sort of feel like something is compelling you to maybe compel others, but part of this is also to rising to a part of yourself you don't always have. And it's not about the confidence, but maybe about the ability to quickly pick up the reins of something and charge forth there. Like sometimes you might be more practical. You might feel like you want to wait and see before you jump in. But this is you sort of saying, maybe I need to jump in here. Maybe I need to do
Yeah.
this. And you're feeling a sense of confidence and charisma to do this. So I think it's pretty interesting. It could just be that it represents an idea, an opportunity. Somebody says, hey, this thing, job, opportunity of any sort, looks really right for you, Libra. Why don't you check it out?
Well, let's see why that's important. Oh, it's the Ten of Cups upright.
Because it'll bring you a lot of
It's
happiness.
important because you're going to be really happy. It's going to make you happy when all is said and done. So whether this is travel, some event, something that you're doing, you're immersing yourself in, you're getting going to get a lot of joy and fulfillment out of this. Very nice.
Absolutely. I
Well,
mean,
that's the expectation anyway.
right. What you why it's important, I guess, is because it
Yeah.
really presents, a really good opportunity to feel happy. And it's more than, necessarily love, happiness. It's sort of an unconditional kind of love. So it may involve other people besides yourself. It could be your family, it could be a group situation, or it's just overall really, comforting. It's comforting.
So where are things headed? It's the Page of Cups upright. Holy moly.
So here's how you get started. Because the
Where
page is
things
like
are
that,
headed is getting started on it with joy. And it's almost as if you feel inside the time is right to do this. The time is right to take this on. I don't know, your relationship situation at the moment, Libra, but if you are single, this could be, the start of a new relationship. But the thing is, that aside, it's something that's going to bring you great joy, and it might involve I don't know, but I it might involve something creative. It could.
well, it's definitely about you taking an initiative. The pages are sort of people
Yeah.
who, especially when good aspected, who just kind of put themselves into that situation are going to move towards that. You're moving towards something that creates harmony and good feelings or vibrations in your life.
Well, not to get political here, Ari, but I just have to say, in this day and age, from our president down, nobody wants to be honest. Nobody wants to just come out and say, I'm sorry, I had decided to date someone else or whatever. They don't think they have to explain themselves anymore. And it's really kind of sad, you know? It is.
Yeah.
Wait, wait, did you do Lenormand at all,
Oh,
Mr.?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It was in the middle. Yes, yes.
Yes, you did a Lenormand, Libra.
Trying to keep Mr. O on track, and I'm trying. He might need a brownie.
Yes, I need a brownie. Go get it.
Oh, I
Okay,
know.
here's the cross.
What? After all
Oh,
those happy cards?
you asked for it. And the moon.
Well, you know, success sometimes comes at a price. There may be something else that you have to let go of that, will not make you happy. I just think there's a little bit of a gray cloud in this whole thing here. But it's almost as if for you to really take and embrace this new situation that you're going to get involved with, it may mean that you have to let something else go in order to,
Yeah.
move this forward.
The opportunity may be between, more material success and something that feels more like that
Or
unconditional,
vice versa.
or vice versa. Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
I like that.
So, but you really are pretty intent upon going there, is what it looks like.
Well,
So
good
good
luck with
luck.
that, Libra. And okay, Ari, we're on you.
All right. Uh, No, we're like kind of like a folk therapist, you know. So go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, I'm kind of empathic, so I feel people's stories, and I take them to heart.
Okay, so the real question is about Zach the Taurus. Am I correct? Because you said you changed it one time.
How has Zach's Taurus life been going since he did me wrong?
All right, and you
Like,
say
has he
yes.
gotten any consequences or bad karma yet? Okay.
Cool. All right.
All right.
Yep.
That will be your deck.
All right, I'm going to use the black tarot and hope for the best for Zach. Zach and black, that rhymes. Hey, you never know, right?
Well, anyway, I was trying to say that, I'm empathic. I appreciate everybody's stories here. Sometimes I may make light of some things and whatnot. I'm just trying to levy the mood. I feel what you're going through, Ari. It's just not fair. It really isn't fair.
I get that. If this were that kind of show, I would tell you what to do.
Well, but yeah,
We
there's
don't give
always dangers there.
we don't give that kind of advice.
Yeah. I mean, we go with what the cards say, and yeah, maybe some life experience based on what we're seeing in the cards, basically. So,
So how is his life going?
and is he getting
Is he getting his
consequence?
karma?
Well,
All right. The first card is the reverse Knight of Cups.
wow.
The second card
Another.
is the reversed Tower. Zach's a jerk.
Well, leave it to Mr. O to have the bad reversed cards for, but at the right time this time.
And then the final, also reverse card, is the reversed Queen of Wands. Well, this
Okay, this
could
is
be a
interesting.
story.
Don't go anywhere yet.
I'm not.
Stay tuned, because here,
Oh, there's the clouds. You know that dark side's going to be facing something. Oh, it's the anchor.
what's that song? Ball of confusion. All right, we will talk. Holy
Eve of
cow, Larry.
destruction, toxic
That's what
option.
you asked for here. I don't think Zach, you know, it's hard to say if it's happening now or if it will happen, but I think he's going to get his comeuppance at some point if he hasn't already. What did you say it was the king,
Reverse Knight of
the
Cups.
Knight of
He's
Cups?
going towards this.
Well, relationships don't seem to work well for him. At least it seems like they're going to come and go. I don't think he has much stability in his love life right now or going forward. I mean, it's possible maybe he'll marry somebody, maybe he'll get married, but things are destined to break up. He seems very uh superficial or just not able to truly make a commitment.
Well, this could just be about currently right now. This could
It
just be
could be.
saying that if there's a relationship right now, it's moving towards the end, towards sorrow, you know.
And the tower is reversed here.
Hmm.
It's kind of like he's learned nothing. It's like here he keeps going through one crisis after another, or hey, for all I know, creating one crisis after another in his life, and he doesn't get anything out of it. And so, that's really sad to me. When we have problems, when we have a crisis, it's really important to take something away from it so we don't have to suffer from it again. And so we also know there's hope of not having to go through it again.
I like what you said there, Ari. In Lenormand, Tower is more related to institutions like marriage, but I almost feel like it's opportune to indicate that the Tower reversed here could be indicating that kind of idea that he's going to fail in marriage and he's not going to realize why, or something big like that. Marriage is a big step in a
Yeah, that
person's
could
life.
be. That could very well be a big implosion in a marriage. And then you've
I don't
got
think these are the past. I think this is the
no,
future.
it's like coming. And what is that again?
It's the Queen of Wands
Yes.
reversed.
He's gonna feel like wanting to just kind of I don't know. He's going to feel very like he needs to shy away. Or it's possible here that people are going to start shunning him. They're not going to feel drawn to him anymore. Sometimes, people start wearing their negativity out in the open. People can just see it and they're just not going to be attracted to him.
Well, to me, it's more likely the Queen of Wands reverse could be him, and that is basically kind of being a whiny bitch, a little bit misdirecting, his better qualities, charismaticness, whatever,
Oh.
and he's inverting everything because he's taken it too personal, which is kind of what you've alluded to
Well,
too.
it may be too that if something really implodes on him, it's going to merely make him pull back. Maybe it's kind of a reality check for him, but considering what I see ahead, with the Lenormand, I'm not sure, like even with this tower reversed, that he really gets it. That he really gets that he's creating his own destruction. Okay.
But is he anchored in depression overall because of that, or because he's stuck in that situation, that marriage, or is it a cycle for him
I
where
think
all his relationships are like that?
I think he'll become anchored in confusion. Depression, yes,
That's right.
maybe,
It is more about
because it is a
confusion.
card about depression. But those dark clouds, too, talk about just not being able to think clearly. And again, that goes in line with the tower card here, that he doesn't seem to get it. And couple that with the anchor. The anchor means he's stuck there. He's stuck in this position of not thinking clearly and just doing the same things over and over again. It sounds to me like a big darn case of denial.
Ooh. So that's what it looks like, is even if you don't know for sure, it does feel like, he's gonna, feel that karma.
I think it'll catch up with him if it's not happened now. Hey, karma plays out in its own time frame.
Yeah,
I have
true.
found that out on several occasions. For me personally, and then other people that really deserved it
So if
too.
he's 26 or so, he's really near that first Saturn return. And so that means that the next 2 years or so, or maybe it has happened already or starting to happen, are crucial for him to realize he needs to grow up. Or if he doesn't, he's just going to continue to be locked in that.
Yeah. Just seems like he's going to be on a hamster wheel. He can't get off of it. He keeps doing the same things, making the same mistakes over and over again.
Saturn returns are like about every 28 years or so. And what they really do is for each individual soul, they are kind of like a come to Papa moment. They're kind of like, what have you learned? What are the lessons of your life so far? And so that's why a lot of people in their late 20s have some really interesting situations where they either evolve or they're stuck there for another 28 years, not
Ugh.
quite evolving.
Wow, that's what we have for you.
That's
Holy
what we have for
moly.
you.
Good luck with that, Ari.
And yeah, because I have a lot of Saturn in my chart due to my sun sign and my moon sign, I'm really big on that whole Saturn return thing. I got through my second one okay, which is also a pretty serious one, because that's usually when major health problems could show up in a person's life is around the age of 56 or so, 54, 56, the second Saturn return. Not always good.
Hey, you're welcome, Ari.
You're welcome.
Go.
All right.
And
And we're on
we're on
Kelsey.
Kelsey. Kelsey had
Hey,
a
Kelsey.
question posted.
She did. Will Kelsey secure a job at the FI company?
Okay. And if we don't get a clear answer in the three cards, we'll do a yes, no.
Right. If it's vague, we'll just go to the point. So Kelsey further says, "Will I secure a job at the company? I received an automatic rejection email, but I've been in contact with the interviewer to so I'm kind of on panic mode." And that's the weird thing is like sometimes these things with email are just automatic and they don't mean anything necessarily, but maybe we can figure out, if there is something there.
Hmm.
I
So you got an automatic rejection email? That's just.
hope it's not true. I mean, hope that maybe, something's going to rechannel because you're in touch with that person.
Okay. We have the hangman reversed. Wow. What the heck?
I see. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. You might at some point have to ask them directly about that or something. Next card.
The tower again. Upright this time.
Oh boy.
And the ace of cups reversed.
The Lenormand is possibly not exactly like this. The first card is the key, and the second one is the garden.
Seems neutral to me.
Okay, neutral. Okay, well, let's go through this
I,
thing.
I see something different with that. That's interesting, though. Okay, well, it's not bad. But, well, the way I'm looking at this reading, I hate to say it, is they may have already made their decision. The hangman is reversed. They come down from the thinking phase to now the action
Doing,
phase.
right.
So they've made a decision, I think. Um, well, did you want to add something to that, or are you good
No,
with
I
that?
kind of like that. I mean, I think I might have more to say about the next card, but the Hangman reverse, you know, indicates there was a bit of processing there too, though. So maybe, that's why you're still hearing from the person because that may have been a person who saw more in you than maybe other people who were looking at the information, the same information did.
The tower sometimes indicates, well, not sometimes, it indicates a crisis of some sort, something that goes amiss, something that wasn't done right. Is it their process that's flawed? I'm just throwing that out there. Or is it the fact that it's your tower that's imploding? Something you thought that maybe you had an in for is crashing down. And I hate to say it that way, but that's kind of the imagery of the tower. However, you might learn a lot from this experience either way. Now, possibly here, I'm not ruling out, like I said, but I'm going to look at that last card pretty carefully when I analyze this. And I think that it could be that maybe something with their process is flawed. Maybe they sent out that letter, generically, and, it's by mistake. And so they're causing you a crisis that, like you said, you're in a panic mode over this. I can't rule that out.
The tower could represent that possibility that maybe part of their process malfunctioned, and so they're realizing they made that mistake. It seems like it is of a concern, though. So, is it possible that they're worried about you getting away from them, or are they worried about some other aspect of this knowledge there, like that you could, make a complaint to somebody about that? I'm not sure. That doesn't seem
No,
very likely,
I don't
but
know.
for some reason, it makes me feel there's a concern there.
I feel it's either about you being upset because you didn't get the job, or, they have messed up and they realize that now. But they will learn and fix their processes from there. It could be that. But when I see the Ace of Cups reversed, it is some disappointment. So if it's you, that would fit right in with me saying the decision's been made. You're not going to feel, you're going to feel a sudden shock by not being accepted, maybe, and you're feeling very unhappy about it. Um, the good, the key here, though, again, seems to lie in networking. So, you're talking to the interviewer, maybe there's some hope there, and keep the lines of communication open. I feel like if it's not that, what this might say to me is a couple of things. They may refer you to someone else if they're not going to hire you. They may make suggestions for you that might help you get in, or there may be something else here out there. I feel through networking in some way.
I like what she says there, but that third comment back there, that to me tells you that maybe this was a mistake on their part, possibly. So I don't know if that's exactly what we're getting here, but I like that information. And so I do feel like the Ace of Cups reversed could be saying that even if they, are mandated to appoint somebody else, they might apologize to you and or make these other considerations, suggestions for you, or possibly looking ahead for themselves. They might see where maybe they might want to check you out again for another position.
Well, this is so odd. Are they having
Is
financial problems that they won't fill that position? Are they thinking of eliminating that position? Or, what's going on here? So maybe it is an institutional breakdown of some sort. I can't rule that out. Maybe we do have to go that
I
extra.
think we should. Let's
Yes,
go ahead
no.
and do
You
that.
want to use one of your decks for that?
Yeah, sure. We'll
Those cards
use
out
that.
there? We'll see how it applies.
Okay, and I'm gonna use the Mind's Eye Tarot for
Okay.
that.
I don't have
And
the
do you want to
sheet
shuffle
here.
too?
What?
Shuffle too
No, it's okay.
already.
You can shuffle this one.
Well, I know this by the back of my hand now. The yes
Oh,
no,
okay. Okay.
because I do it every week for the emotional
Oh,
exchanges,
okay. That's right.
which is my time to put in that shameless plug for my weekly show, the emotional exchanges. It's a simple reading for each sign of the zodiac. The top card is the energy or vibration you may feel emotionally speaking, and then the bottom card tells you whether or not will you get lucky. And of course, that's based on this yes/no idea that we're about to do for you, Kelsey.
Ah,
So, are you going to get this position? Are you going to secure this position, as you say? And it's a cups. So that means that it will come naturally, which is kind of vague in a
oh my
way.
gosh.
It may mean it'll come naturally because the current person they did select didn't work out and you were the next one in line or some other thing.
Well,
But it's the
yeah.
reversed Four of Cups, and that suggests a level of scrutiny or investigation or discernment that is happening somewhere here.
The Four of Cups is reversed, right?
Yes.
To me, that indicates that again, there's a decision coming, you know, one way or another. I think they're
Yeah.
going to have to let you know what it is because that's reversed now. Usually, when it's upright, it's kind of like there's an indifference or like in
They feel they can
between.
take their time making this decision.
Yeah, well, they certainly have. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm wondering, are they thinking about, or is it possible here that they have to go through offering the promotion to other people? Are other people rejecting it and they're going from one to another? I don't know.
Another
I
thing
would
that
think that people have to apply for it first. And if nobody applies, then they would go outside to somebody like you.
Another thing that occurs to me is that if there's a certain personnel department situation going on and they're not able to process their work. So, too many vacations, somebody's on a sick leave, something is putting things on hold in that part of their process. And so that's slowing everything down. Maybe that's a possibility.
Well, keep your hopes up, Kelsey, but like I say, you should just keep applying elsewhere too. Don't put your
Yeah,
eggs all in this one basket. Um, but just to give you some hope, I had applied for a job once and it took a full year before somebody called me and said, "Are you still interested in this job? Because I think I can get you in there." And I got the job.
which one was
So
that? Was that U of M?
that was Science Library at Wayne State.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had my woes too. They were a long time ago, and I'm
And
semi-retired, so
academia takes an awfully long time often to fill positions. So I'm used to that. But a whole year, that was pretty long. I had
it's
given up
crazy.
on that. As a matter of fact, I was at the point in my career that even though I got my library science degree, well, no, actually, it was before I got my it was when I got my journalism degree. I was thinking of leaving libraries completely because I thought I'm just not going to get what I want. Then the job came through at the last possible moment. So good luck to you.
He sees you, Kara.
Did I lose my? Yep, there it is. Okay. All right, let's move on to
Mysterious Queen.
Mysterious Queen is up. Hi, Mysterious Queen.
Yeah, I know you know. You two are twin flames of some sort.
Kara, Betty, okay, it was a box mix, but Betty Crocker salted caramel brownies. What you say, Mr. O?
They were good enough for me.
Well, they're still around. We didn't eat them all. We
Oh,
just
yes.
made them.
I hope the show ends early. All right, so Mysterious Queen says, may I please ask, will me and my person both end up and marry? Thank you. That's your deck, right?
Me and my person both end up in married.
All right.
Okay. Yes,
What could
it's
be more
actually
simple than that? She's no crock, that Betty Crocker.
no, she's not. And I used to make a lot of the
You're
recipes
welcome.
out of some of the Betty Crocker. I had a couple of Betty Crocker books, one on cupcakes and cakes, and one on cookies. And I loved a lot of those recipes in there.
For a number of years, I've noticed that there's a sideline kind of cooking thing where people figure out ways to mix Campbell soups with each other's soups and some other ingredients and come up with something new, or mix them with other kinds of packages and come up with a short version way of making a stroganoff or lasagna. And it's really cool stuff. I really like it. I also like the cookbooks that have ways to use rotisserie chickens in dozens and dozens of different kinds of recipes: tortillas, tacos, soups, stews. Because I like
What
the easy way, and the Campbell soups are pretty good for that. Say what you will.
Well, anyway, when I did the Betty Crocker stuff, they had sections or they had recipes that included their box mixes. I haven't made any of those. I usually went with the scratch recipes, and they were pretty good. But I'll tell you what, just making one of their box mixes, they're pretty good too. They really are tasty. Okay. This is about whether her and her person will marry, right?
Mhm.
Well, we have the Seven of Swords upright.
It sounds like an elopement.
Ugh, we shouldn't say that. Ten of Pentacles reversed.
That doesn't.
Indeed. And then, lo and behold, guess what's here? The Four of Cups upright.
Well, don't get too excited because I got the
Mhm.
gentleman and the stork.
Uh-oh.
So something may be afoot here. I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's take a look.
Well, I don't know. I could almost see it being someone else. But let's take a look.
Okay.
I mean, the Seven of Swords sometimes is about a need to know more. Clearly, mysterious queen, you're wondering what the future holds between you and your significant other to be. And so, you're concerned and you're worried, and you do need to find out more. You need to find out really, you need to tap into how they're really feeling about you. There's things that I think you don't know yet that you need to know about this person.
I'm
Not necessarily bad.
I'm going to be a little bit more positive or something else. And what I said before, an elopement, maybe it's not exactly that, but it's the idea that maybe he has reasons to not be objective or upfront about what his ideas might be in terms of getting together with you. That maybe, he wants to spring this on you in a certain way, or maybe, he's insecure about how this will unfold because maybe he doesn't know if he needs to surprise you with something else, that you expect something else and that maybe he doesn't know if he can really manage that. Just some ideas there. I don't know if those, I think she could be more onto it, but just wanted to throw that out there.
No, I don't know. I think that maybe he isn't being forthcoming, which is why you need to find out more. Or you just need to, make sure you really have a beat on how he's feeling and where he's coming from. And if you're getting the cold shoulder, if you're getting mixed signals, pay attention to
Later.
that. Try to read into that
Later.
and maybe try to ask them about that, if you can. So let's look at what's the Four of Cups is in the middle?
No, it's the 10
Oh, that's the Ten of
of
Pentacles. Yeah.
cups, or is that
That's
pentacles?
Pentacles.
And it was reversed.
I was gonna say, he's talking about an elopement here, but I'm not sure if this is leading to marriage or not. The Ten of Pentacles to me, well, could indicate that maybe this person's really concerned about financial stability and, getting involved in a marriage right now or soon because maybe they are concerned about finances. If that's not true, then all I can say here is they are questioning whether they want to start um, a life with you, a tradition with you. They're questioning this. I don't know if it has something to do with family interference because sometimes that could be involved in that card. What do you think?
Well, what I think is that the idea of an elopement seems more possible when you think that this could say he's just a poor boy from a poor family. And that maybe, he can't necessarily count on resources or support. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that
Goodness,
he's
look what you're doing.
that they're poor, but that maybe there's something, that has him. I mean, maybe the idea of the secrecy is because maybe there's a reason why people in his family, don't kind of connect to the idea of him and you.
Okay. Well, I have no problem with his
And
story
being
here.
Scorpio,
But then
the
we look at the
Four
Four of Cups.
Cups.
And
Okay.
again, that just seems to me like some ambivalence about moving this forward. They're lightly, no pulling on hair. He's shedding like crazy. So I think here the Four of Cups is just saying he's kind of ambivalent and, really in a thoughtful mood about this, or will be if he's not now.
Maybe he's trying to figure out what his options are if he does have this sort of non supportive family situation, or the sense that he's doing things in the shadows or mysteriously. But on the other hand, you're the one who calls yourself Mysterious Queen. Maybe this has something to do with you, this mysterious idea. I don't know. You asked it about it in relationship to him and you, so it's slightly
Well,
fair game.
he's in the reading. He's in the reading right
He
there
is in
in
the
the
reading
Lenormand.
in the
So
Lenormand.
I think here I
So
almost wonder if we need to do a yes no on this one
we could do
because
one real
the
quick.
reason is because it's either meaning that there is going to be a new beginning between the two of you, or it means that he is looking for something else, or he's thinking about looking for something else. This is why I'm struggling because I see the totality here and I'm kind of sensing an ambivalence and an unsureness as to whether he wants to pursue this.
Just the idea that maybe there is this need to be covert does throw the reading into the idea that um, we don't know exactly. You know, there may be mysterious motives on his part for a number of things. So I think it would be wise for us to do a quick yes or no.
I'll do it with my deck this
Alrighty,
time.
very good.
Okay.
And while she's getting ready to do that, I will mention that Happy Hour is
Yay!
back on Saturday. It will be here at 10 a.m.
But
Um, I do have to work this afternoon, so there won't be a lot of overtime. So get there early. We don't usually have a problem filling up our pews at Happy Hour. So check
everybody
it out.
likes happy hour. We have fun.
And a day later, Sunday at 10 a.m., it's Banshee's Material Matters. Join us as she gives the reading for each
Certificates.
sign of the zodiac and tells you what you can expect in the economy for the week ahead. And we have a great time in our chat room. It's a recorded video, but we are live in the chat room. Check it out. We have so much fun.
Well, wow. Why are these coming up so much in their different decks?
All right, so this was the yes or no. It's good luck. And of course, that means it could go either way. And it's the tower. And I'll just weigh in quickly here and say that um, the tower suggests that maybe this relationship is going to have some major turning point and maybe things will disassemble, but it may be the kind of thing that will be illustrated that you'll learn something from it. I don't know if this is really connected to everything else, but in a way it sort of is a coda to the other reading that maybe, um, that's where it goes beyond the idea that something really needs to be processed mentally, emotionally about where you feel the relationship is going. So sadly, I'm not so sure that this is going to happen.
Well, I'm of two minds again. It said good luck. And so, again, I think Mysterious Queen, the cards aren't going to give us a definite answer today. It's clearly leaning a bit on the negative, but the tower to me, since it's upright, could be a couple of things. You guys may go through periods of on again, off again, where there's a crisis that pulls you apart, but you come back together, you rebuild from where you left off. The other thing about this could be, what are you doing?
I was reading something.
Oh, okay. The other thing about this, I just wonder if it was important of what I was saying. The other thing about this is it could be that, crisis, a crisis of some sort brings you both back together. Do you see that? I could see that in a way because there's
Well,
something learned from it when it's upright.
it feels so like it's after the fact, like maybe after other things have happened that we're moving things along, that's what it is, that maybe it's a denouement of realizing that he did have to make some kind of move, whether or not it was something he was able to really articulate. And it had something to do with maybe what he felt his resources were or the support he was receiving. So maybe in that respect, deciding that you have to take that chance and that there's a lot for you to learn, but maybe you don't proceed from that level of comfort or expectation that he might have thought was possible, the support of his family.
It's a very odd reading.
It is, yeah.
I'm
I'm
leaning
just throwing out a lot of stuff there.
this may not work out, but It may. There's something karmic going on here.
I think
So I
so.
don't know if you guys shared a past life together. Um, I just feel like there's something karmic going
And
on
that's
here.
mostly because of the tower, probably.
Yeah, partly that. A big part that. So I was so surprised to see that come up again.
Good
But
luck.
when it's upright, there is something positive to be gained by this. So keep hope alive. But I mean, don't waste your life waiting for this to happen if nothing is happening yet. You know, I always tell people, and I'm serious about this, set a boundary, set a line. Just say, I'm only going to wait X long for this person. All right, you could maybe change and add 3 months or whatever to it when you get to the end of the road.
Renegotiate the contract.
But you really need to start setting some boundaries to determine I've got a life here and I've got to move on at some point. I wish you luck with that, though. I hope things work out for you.
Good luck. Thanks for coming tonight.
All right.
Kara, you and those elfish ancestors.
Kara, you make me want a
Are
brownie.
you from the Keebler ones? Like, can you do good baking magic for us?
You make me want a brownie, and aren't there creatures called brownies, right?
Yeah.
So,
After the show, it will be a brownie time. And you're the last reader
you're the
unless somebody
last
else
reading,
comes
so
in.
we went a
So,
little early tonight, which is
I-
great because we have some filming to do
yeah,
tonight.
we're behind on some filming, so that would be great if we could end
And I'm
early and
behind with my cards of the day. I got to
get
get
going.
cooking after this show.
All right.
All right.
So, therefore, it is you. You. And I'm going to use my Crow's Magic
All
Tarot,
right. So this is
which is
messages from.
shamanic and
Let's
mystic.
just throw. Do you want to do my reading or 3 cards?
Uh, I don't know. What do you think?
Um, it was just a message from them, right? Did they have anything for us? Is
I
that it?
better look at that again. Yeah, basically wanting to know what her elfish ancestors or that situation would give to her at this time.
Let's do 3 cards
All
instead.
right. I think that sounds wonderful. The regular 3 cards, you mean?
Yeah, there might be more than one gift, or it might all fit together. We shall see.
It's the reversed 6 of coins.
Hmm.
And another 6, the upright 6 of cups. So I like that frame.
Well, yes and no.
Yes and no. And then it is death upright.
Death? Oh,
Yes.
that's deep.
That's pretty deep. The writer,
Huh.
the key. What do the elvish ones have for you?
Trying to put them all together. I can't really.
Yeah, I have a feeling that they need to be more together than not.
Do you?
Well,
I'm having a little problem with the couple with those sixes actually, but not so much with the death card. So I think here maybe this death card, this transformation and change is what ties these two together. And in a way, I think here that your elvish ancestors want you to, your elvish ancestors may realize that you aren't treated all the time very fairly. You aren't necessarily respected in the same way that you might treat others, and they really want their gift to you is to is the gift of childlike innocence. And like, regardless of how people treat you, the elvish people say, you know what? Just enjoy life with the wonder of a child. Don't let them break your spirit. They want you to be strong and not let them break your spirit. And I think the death card is about that in a way. It wants you to transform from feeling a sense of lack or a sense of maybe not being respected or feeling you're getting what you deserve in life to one of wonder and happiness and joy at the little things in life. Transform your attitude from lack to pleasure and joy.
Hi, Tanisha. Tamisha.
Oh, hi, Tanisha. Welcome. We'll get you on the list. We got a short list, as a matter of
Yeah,
fact.
you'll be the very
You'll
next
be
person right after this reading.
so hang in there for us.
So, Kara, you know about things elvish like changelings, children that maybe are switched at birth or shortly after birth from humans to elfish or fairy families. And I don't know that you're a changeling, but I think some of that concept is there is that because of your ancestry, perhaps at some point you did have an ancestor who might have been a changeling or a post changeling. And so I think that's what connects these two six here, because unlike another, possible elfish or fairy person, you might have had, or your family line might have had stronger gifts when it comes to things related to money. So maybe there's something that maybe sort of inhibits that. And there's different things about elves and fairies, like they don't like hard iron, cold iron, that they're resistant to that. So I get the feeling like maybe there is this connection. Now, the Six of Cups, though, could be saying, of course, this is, like I said, long ago from the past. This is
Oh, you're
maybe
really okay.
from, hundreds of years ago. Like I said, an ancestor of yours was possibly a changeling or was switched at birth. And so it may have created some kind of power in your family, but not without a caveat. Like it's sort of like it's a power that only works sometimes or has a hidden drawback. And of course, so maybe this could explain why certain things have worked better for you in your past or not. I'm just going to leave it there kind of vague. So I think they want you to know that, though, basically, that, there is a reason why some of your stuff happens. I'm done.
I'm not sure what to do with all that. They
You
can't both be true in a way,
can't both be true.
They actually can both be true. And I think here the key, whichever story you get, the key is to move, make a move, make the changes, move towards change, move towards growth, and reharmonize. I just kind of got lost in his story there, but I think it was very interesting what he did there. But just to follow the path of change and growth. And I think they give you the tools by saying, in live life as a child would, and I don't mean by being childish and naive and all of that, but just with the joy and wonder of living, and not allow the inequities, the bad things in the world, the unfairness, the uneven treatment, maybe by family or friends, really take that away from you. And I think here that they offer you, the gifts of the ability to grow past that, grow past that first card and move forward in a positive direction rather than allow them to bring you down.
I like what you said about uh, reassociating with nature or resynchronizing. How
Oh,
did you
yeah.
say re something? What did you say? Re something. You said it. Re something.
I don't remember.
Okay, well, whatever she said, and maybe you remember, I like that. And I like what you said there because what I think I want to tell you is that you have a garden in your family. Do you have a backyard? Do you have a garden? I want you to con, consider an area in that garden as a place where you want to invite the elves or the fairies to commune with them there. That maybe, that's the connection they want to make. And so if you find this area, then what I would tell you is to make sure there's nothing that's metal or iron there, like any little, piece of anything, a fence or something like that, that might be disturbing to them. So I just want you to consider that and
That's
associate in that way.
interesting.
But I like, if you remember the lore of the elves, there was always this hill, and if you get down into the hill, that's where the fairyland is. And so I'm thinking of the rider going up the hill there. And so the key is saying, keep investigating this. Keep thinking about, what are the possible associations between you and the fae or the fairy folk.
Well, I was going to say something else as well. If you have well, related to yours, if you have even a public garden somewhere, where they have benches, if there's a special spot that you feel really
Yep.
drawn to, that, maybe there could be some little magical creatures that will visit you there. I think we can find, them in varieties of places. So if you don't have access to a garden, maybe there's a community garden that, or a park that has a natural kind of area, that has that magic associated with it.
I'm trying to remember for sure. You're probably the better folklorist than me in this regard. But I thought like either fairies or faith folk, like a thimble of milk or a thimble of milk and honey left for them, and I'm not sure why, because I'm like, well, I don't know if they would like that, but they like something, and like it's a little thimble. And so like if you go out and get yourself a little thimble, or if you don't have one, maybe you could find one with Loki on it or something. But put once in a
Okay.
while, once a month or so, leave it out there, or more often, put it there for them.
Ah. So that's what we have for you. I wish you luck with that.
All right, well, I hope we didn't lose you.
I'm sure we did not.
Thank you, Tamisha. Tonight is our slow night. Thursday seems to be a really slow night for us, but Sunday
Recently.
is too many people. We usually have to close the list after the first half hour.
And we're
So
hustling through the readings.
So we're glad you're here. Go ahead and give us a question. I noticed you're telling us that you're an Aquarius.
And it's okay if you want just a general reading, whatever the case may be, just let us know. If you have a specific question, we'll take it. All right.
And we'll give you a moment to do that. And I will mention,
Okay. I have a reading for that we'll do for you. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
oh, I was just going to mention some other shows, but we have our question there. So
Oh,
anyways, thanks for coming tonight. Thank you for liking us. Um, on Saturdays, we do another live show where we just pull one card for each person, and it's just basically to give a happy message. And that's our happy hour. It's at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Alrighty then. So is it your cards? I
I,
guess so.
yeah, it is. Yep.
So Tamisha wants to know what's coming next for them. What does the ancestors, the universe, or the guardian angels want to tell you?
Sunny has given me a small amount of space to shuffle. Okay. The first card is the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Oh, wow. What's going on with these doubles? The Nine of Wands reversed. And the Knight of Swords upright.
We also pull cards from the Lenormand deck, which is a similar system. And the first one is the mice, and the second one is the stork. These tend to be more symbolic. Excuse me.
Cat hair, making you cough. Well, the Nine of Pentacles reversed is not a bad card. So you know what? We were supposed to do my reading, and I forgot. We laid all the cards out.
Do you want to do your reading
I
though?
still want to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
So what's
What's
what do
coming
they
to you
have for
next?
you? What message do they have for you? They want to let you know that things could be better, but things could be worse. It's saying right now that they want to let you know you probably are in a fairly decent, stable place right now, and whether it's materially, whether it's some other area in your life. I'm sorry, I forgot to get you. You could have just stopped me again. Um, whether it's another area of your life or uh, whatever, even involved in a relationship, things seem okay. And as a matter of fact, they might be good, but they understand there's something really in you that wants more. You want more. You're not totally satisfied where you are, but they want to just remind you that things are not bad.
Banshee gave a good reading there. I can't add a lot to that, Tamisha. This really looks like you're not wanting for a lot, like you're not homeless necessarily. You may have a job or you may have an income, but you really feel you could be more comfortable or you would like to be. So this sort of suggests, where you want this tree to grow, because there is sort of a tree there. And it is the idea of a garden. You want a garden where you can grow the things you need in it, not just, for your own sustenance or your life, but also emotionally or mentally, etc.
So the thing is that this could be in any area of your life that you feel you really want something more out of life, in that area of your life.
Because you're asking for universal, wisdom in a sense or a message, this is everything. So in a way, you like your life, but you really feel like it needs so much more.
So why is this important? It's important because I think they want you to prepare yourself more for growth. They don't want you to give up. They think that what you want to pursue is worthwhile. What you feel you want to fulfill you is worth the journey. But they're worried that you might be thinking of giving up or that you don't have what it takes. They don't want to see that.
This is why I let her go first, because she really nails it pretty much here. But I think she's really got it right. The universe wants you to be ready to meet these challenges. The universe feels you may not be prepared enough at this time, but it also feels that maybe you may have not a lot of say in the matter, that you might have to deal with situations before you really are ready. And they realize you may feel you'll need to back down, but they don't really want you to if you can help it.
Well,
So that leads to that card, I guess.
where are things heading? That's the Queen of, wait, that's the
It's the Knight of
the
Swords.
Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is a character who is determined, has determination to move forward, has made a decision, and they're moving forward. And so I think where things are headed is that, if you know specifically what it is you're after, which I think you do, and I think Spirit and your ancestors think you do, you're going to be moving forward on it. You're going to make the decision and move swiftly towards your goal.
It almost feels like maybe it is possible that, some other message comes to you, not just what we're telling you,
That's
but
true.
but maybe you have a dream or maybe you see a different reader. But that message is really strong here, is that this is no time for you to wait for it to happen. You got to pick
Gotta
up the
make
sword
it
yourself
happen.
and make it happen.
Yep.
And Spirit and your ancestors actually do see you having that ability. So, Tamisha, even if you have some doubts now, you're going to find that you have that ability. You can do this.
So now, all of that being said, what the Lenormand is telling us that any new beginning or any fresh start that you do, hey, it's going to be a little bit stressful at times. There's going to be some ups and downs. The mice are here. The mice are little annoying things, that can either pull us away, try to distract us from what we're trying to accomplish and do, or put little roadblocks in our way. But it is nothing major and it is only temporary annoyances. So don't I think it kind of falls into this Nine of Wands here reversed, where it was telling you that, about giving up. Don't let little things throw you off your path. This new beginning could be good for you, but you just can't let, little things get in the way of your success.
So I think the knight kind of goes with that stork there, because this is saying, as you're accepting this knowledge and you're realizing it's on you, it's up to you, you will have this ability to try to forge your new beginning. It just wants you to be mindful that, not everything is a perfect road and that there will be some stresses to deal with. But I really think everything is telling you those are just little road bumps, and that they're meant to give you a little challenge just so that you can mark that as a victory. You can say, well, I got over that. I handled that situation, and you keep going towards what you want. It's
Yep.
about the journey rather than getting there.
And that's it exactly. So, wow, this was a pretty interesting reading too. We've
It
had
was
some
pretty
real
clear.
cool readings tonight, and this is one of them.
Hope you liked
So,
it.
I wish you luck. I'm assuming and hoping you know what this is about in your life. I see you said there the stress is real.
Good
Keep
for you.
pushing forward.
That's
Just
right.
do it,
Keep on keeping on. That's what we always
That's
say.
what I gotta say. Well, thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed that, and we see you again
You're
sometime.
welcome. Hope to see you again.
And one great place to join us is at our happy hour show on
I
Saturdays,
mentioned that. Yep.
10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You get a single card, positive message for your week ahead. Maybe it's empowering, maybe it just makes you happy, and we have a lot of fun on that show.
Wherever we appear, we are the same. TFT, Tarot for Today. So you can find us on Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky, X, and here on YouTube.
We do cards of the day, so I'm going to be working on one as soon as we're done with the show.
So it was good to see you.
Yes. Good to see you.
Thank you
Good to
so
see
much. We appreciate you.
everybody tonight. Let's grab those cards and say good night. I guess we're going to end a little bit early, a half hour early.
Well, got to work on the next show. What can I say?
No, thank you. Thank you, Tamisha. Hope to see you
Thank
again.
you.
Yeah, we got to work on a video we're doing, and I want to thank everybody for being here today. I think the questions were superb, and I mean, the cards were really responsive today. I'm sorry the tower came up so much for some people, but everything happens for a reason, I always say.
All right, everyone.
So take care, have a great rest of your day or evening, and we will see you next time. Bye bye for now.